Listen close now. Come a little closer. I want you to take a good, hard look at this face. You see these lines? You see the roadmap of 95 years etched right here. I didn't get here by listening to the folks on the television telling me what to put on my dinner plate. No, sir. In fact, if I had listened to every expert who told me how to eat over the last 50 years, I reckon I would have been 6 feet under before I hit retirement. Now, before I tell you exactly how I outlived 3 of my own doctors, do an old man a favor. Go ahead and click that subscribe button right there. You're going to want to stick around because what I'm about to say might just save your life or at least make it taste a whole lot better. I ain't got forever to teach you this stuff, so join the family now while the getting is good. All right, let's talk about food, real food. You look around today and everybody is scared. You walk into the grocery store and it's like walking into a minefield. Don't eat bread, it's got gluten. Don't eat butter, it'll clog your heart. Don't eat steak, it's bad for the planet. Don't drink milk, don't eat eggs. Don't look at a potato the wrong way or it might kill you. It's exhausting. It makes my head spin just thinking about it. I remember back in 1975, a young doctor in a white coat, nice kid, shiny shoes. He sat me down and told me I had to stop eating bacon and eggs for breakfast. Said the cholesterol was a ticking time bomb. He handed me a pamphlet about margarine and skim milk. Well, I nodded, took that pamphlet, and went home and cooked my eggs in bacon grease, just like my mother did. You know what happened to that doctor? He passed away 15 years ago, bless his heart, and I had 3 eggs this morning. See, the problem today isn't the food, it's the rules. You got people eating stuff that looks like cardboard and tastes like sawdust because some chart told them it's healthy. They are miserable, they are hungry, and they are sick. We didn't have organic stickers when I was a boy. We didn't have non-GMO or gluten-free or keto. We just had food, and mostly we had ingredients. My mother didn't look at nutrition labels because there weren't any. She looked at the vegetable. If it was firm and smelled like the earth, it went in the pot. If the meat was fresh, it went in the pan. We ate the fat. Let me say that again so you hear me. We ate the fat. Chicken skin, steak, gristle, butter on the biscuits. We needed the fuel. We worked hard, we played hard, and we slept like logs. Today, you got folks afraid of an apple because it has sugar. An apple? God's candy? If you think an apple is what's making you sick, you've lost the plot, son. We have complicated the simplest thing in the world. Feeding yourself shouldn't be a math problem. It shouldn't require a degree in chemistry. It should be about joy. It should be about sitting down with people you love and putting something warm in your belly that sticks to your ribs. But somewhere along the way, we let fear take over the kitchen. And that is a dangerous thing. When you fear your food, you fear life. And I plan on living until I'm done, not a minute sooner. Now I'm just getting warmed up. I've got a lot more to say about what we actually ate and why it worked. But I need you to understand one thing first. Your body is smarter than a label. Let's talk about the darkest time in American history. No, I ain't talking about a war. I'm talking about the time they took away our butter and replaced it with a tub of yellow chemical goo. You know what I'm talking about? That stuff that wouldn't melt, bright, and tasted like the inside of a plastic bag. They told us it was better for our hearts. They said, put down the cow, pick up the tub. So like good citizens, we did. My wife, she was worried about my ticker. So she cleared out the fridge. Out went the butter. Out went the whole milk. Out went the bacon grease jar by the stove. In came the light stuff, skim milk. Had you ever really looked at skim milk? It's white water. It's sadness in a glass. It don't coat your throat. It just washes down your hope. Then came the low-fat cookies, the low-fat crackers, the low-fat everything. And let me tell you something. I have never been so hungry in my entire life. I would eat a whole box of those low-fat cookies and feel empty 5 minutes later. My stomach was rumbling like a freight train. I was cranky. I was tired. I felt weak. I was doing everything right, according to the TV, but I felt wrong. My body was screaming at me. It was saying, hey, old man, where's the fuel? See, back in the day when my grandma cooked, she cooked with lard. Now, don't, I'll gasp, I know lard is a dirty word. Now, you say lard in a supermarket and people look at you like you just cursed in church. But Grandma knew something the scientists forgot. Lard is real. It comes from nature. When Grandma made a pie crust with lard, it was flaky and rich. You ate one slice and you were happy. You didn't need the whole pie. That fat, that real heavy animal fat, it sent a signal to your brain that said, okay, we're good now. We are full. Go take a nap. But this new stuff, this factory food, it has no soul. It tricks you. You eat and eat and eat, chasing a feeling of satisfaction that never comes because there's no nourishment in it. It's just filler. It's packing peanuts for your stomach. I remember sneaking out to a diner about 3 weeks into my wife's health kick. I ordered a ribeye steak, mashed potatoes with a pool of real butter, and green beans cooked with ham hocks. I ate that meal, and I felt the life come back into my fingers. The fog in my brain cleared up. I stopped shaking. That was the day I decided I was done with the fake food. I went home and I told my wife, honey, I love you and I want to stay alive for a long time, but if I have to eat one more spoonful of that fake butter spread, I'm going to die of a broken heart. We went back to the old ways that very next day. And guess what? My weight stabilized. My energy came back. My mood improved because I stopped feeding the factory and started feeding the man. But it ain't just about butter and lard. There's a bigger trick they played on us, something even sneakier than the low-fat lie. And this one is probably in your kitchen cabinet right now, masquerading as healthy. Let's dig a little deeper into this mess. You know, I walked down the middle aisle of the grocery store the other day. I usually stick to the outside, where the vegetables, the meat, and the dairy live. That's the real stuff. But I ventured into the middle aisles, the land of boxes and bags, and I saw something that made me stop dead in my tracks. I saw a box of cookies. And on the front, in big, bright letters, it said fat-free. And right next to it, a bag of chips that said gluten-free. And next to that, some sugary cereal claiming it was heart-healthy. It's all a magic trick. It is a sleight of hand designed to fool you. Back in the day, we didn't need a label to tell us if food was good. We knew if you left a loaf of bread on the counter for 3 days, it got hard, it got moldy. That meant it was real. It was alive in a way. Last month, I bought a loaf of that squishy white bread just to test the theory. I left it on my counter for 2 weeks. 2 weeks? You know what happened? Nothing. It was still as soft as a pillow. Even the mold didn't want it. Even the ants walked right past it. Now, you tell me if the bugs won't eat it, why on God's green earth are you putting it in your mouth? That ain't food. That is a science experiment that you are swallowing. And let's talk about this low-fat lie. That was the biggest con job of the last century. Sometime around the 80s, they told us fat was the enemy. They said, stop eating butter. Eat this tub of yellow oil instead. They said, stop drinking whole milk. Drink this blue water. So everybody listened. We stopped eating fat. And what happened? Did we get skinny? Did we get healthy? Look around you. Hell no. We got bigger, we got sicker, and we got tired. Here's the secret they didn't tell you. When they took the fat out of the food, it tasted like cardboard. So nobody wanted to eat it. So the food companies had to fix the taste. And how did they do that? Sugar and salt and chemicals with names so long you need a dictionary to read them. They traded good natural animal fat, the stuff that feeds your brain and keeps your hormones working, for processed sugar and corn syrup. They traded a slow-burning log for a gasoline fire. My daddy ate bacon almost every morning. He put butter on his potatoes. He ate the gristle on the steak. He never went to a gym in his life. He was lean as a fence post until the day he died at 92, because he wasn't eating products. He was eating energy. When you eat real fat, your body knows what to do with it. He says, okay, thanks for the fuel. I'm full now. You stop eating. But when you eat that low-fat, high-sugar garbage, your body never gets the signal. You eat the whole bag, and 10 minutes later, you're hunting in the pantry again. You are starving to death on a full stomach. We have been tricked into fearing the very things that kept our ancestors alive for thousands of years. And we have been tricked into trusting a factory to feed us better than a farm. I want you to think about that next time you reach for something, because the box says it's healthy. Ask yourself, did this grow in the dirt or was it built in a lab? Now, hold on tight, because in the next part, I'm going to tell you about the one modern ingredient that I believe is poisoning the well for everybody, and it's hiding in places you would never suspect. The ingredient I warned you about. It is sitting in a clear plastic bottle in millions of pantries right now. They call it vegetable oil. Sounds healthy, doesn't it? Vegetables are good for you. So the oil must be too. That is the smartest trick the devil ever pulled. When I was a boy, we cooked with three things: lard, butter, and beef tallow. That's it. If we fried a chicken, we fried it in lard. If we made a pie crust, we used lard. If we seared a steak, we use butter. These are things that come from an animal. You can make them in your kitchen, and you take the fat, you melt it down, and there you go. Nature gave it to us. Now look at that bottle of canola oil or soybean oil or corn oil. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever squeezed a piece of corn? Does oil come out? No. Juice comes out. You can't get oil out of a corn kernel or a soybean just by pressing it. You have to force it. To make that oil, they have to use high heat. They have to use chemical solvents, stuff that you wouldn't want to clean your garage floor with. Then, because the oil smells terrible after all that processing, they have to deodorize it. Then they bleach it so it looks pretty. And then they put it in a plastic bottle and sell it to you as heart healthy. It ain't food. It's an industrial lubricant. And we have been guzzling it by the gallon for 40 years. I truly believe this is why everybody hurts today. You talk to folks my age or even folks in their 50s, and they say, oh, my knees hurt, my back hurts, I'm stiff. They think it's just aging. I don't think so. I think we are rusting from the inside out. When you eat that industrial oil, your body doesn't know what to do with it. It causes inflammation. It's like putting diesel fuel in a gas engine. It might run for a while, but it's going to smoke. It's going to knock, and eventually it's going to quit. My joints don't hurt. I still chop my own wood. I still tend my own garden. And I firmly believe it's because I never gave up my butter. I never gave up my animal fats. Those fats protect you. They coat your nerves. They feed your brain. But here is the scary part. Even if you don't buy the bottle of oil, you're still eating it. It is hiding. Read the back of a salad dressing bottle. Read the ingredients on a loaf of bread. Read the label on a jar of peanuts. It is everywhere. They use it because it is cheap. It never goes bad. You could leave that bottle of vegetable oil in the garage for 10 years and it would look the same. Do you want to put something inside your body that even bacteria refuses to touch? If you want to start feeling better tomorrow, do one thing. Throw that clear bottle in the trash. Go buy a block of real butter. Save your bacon grease in a jar by the stove like your grandma did. It tastes better and it won't rust your pipes. Now, we've talked about the food. We've talked about the ingredients. But there is something else that has changed, something that has nothing to do with what is on the plate and everything to do with how we treat it. This next part is the one that really breaks my heart because it's about more than just health. It's about who we are. It ain't just the poison in the bottle, folks. It's the speed. I watch people eat today and it makes me nervous just looking at them. You eat like you are running from a fire. You eat like it is a chore that you have to get over with so you can get back to, well, I don't know what you were getting back to. That is so important. Looking at a screen. When I was raising my family, the dinner table was a sacred place. It was the altar of the home. At 6 o'clock, the world stopped. The radio went off. The work stopped. You washed your hands. You sat down. And you stayed put. We didn't just eat. We dined. Even if it was just beans and cornbread, we treated it with respect. We said grace. We thanked the Lord for the rain that grew the corn and the hands that cooked it. And then we chewed. We talked. My daddy would ask, "What did you learn today?" And you had better have an answer. We looked each other in the eye. We laughed. We argued a little bit, but we were together. Today, I see folks eating in their cars, the dashboard diner, I call it, shoving a sandwich in their mouth while they're doing 60 miles an hour, honking at traffic, listening to the news, stressing about their job. Do you know what that does to you? When you are stressed, when you are rushing, your stomach shuts down, it locks the door, it says, "We are in danger, I can't digest this right now." So that food just sits there. It ferments, it turns into a brick in your belly, you get heartburn, you get gas, you get tired, and you wonder why you feel terrible an hour later. Your body is not a machine. You cannot just dump fuel in the tank while the car is moving. You have to park it. You have to turn the engine off. And it's worse than just digestion. It is loneliness. I see young folks at restaurants, two of them sitting at a table right across from each other, and both of them are looking at their phones. They are scrolling through pictures of other people's food while their own food gets cold. They are physically there, but their minds are 1,000 miles away. It breaks my heart. The table is where you build a life. It is where you teach your children manners. It is where you find out your wife is worried about her sister. It is where you fix the problems of the day. If you lose the table, you lose the family. If you lose the family, it doesn't matter how much broccoli you eat, you are going to be sick. You are going to be sick with loneliness. I want you to try something. It's going to seem hard, but it's simple. Tonight, when you eat, turn off the TV, put the phone in the other room, sit down, look at your food, smell it, take a bite, and actually taste it. Put your fork down between bites. It might feel quiet. It might feel strange. But that quiet is where health lives. That quiet is where your body heals. We have stripped the soul out of eating. We turned it into a transaction, and we are paying the price. I have one last thing to tell you. This is the last piece of the puzzle. It is the one rule that breaks all the other rules, and it is the reason I wake up happy every single morning at 95 years old. If you get this wrong, none of the other stuff matters. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. Listen close. You can eat the best grass-fed steak in the world. You can cook it in pure lard. You can sit at a quiet table. But if you eat that food while you are worrying about it, it will turn to poison in your gut. The rule that breaks all the rules is this. Do not eat with guilt. I see people today eat a piece of birthday cake, and they look like they just committed a bank robbery. They take a bite, and they say, "Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to be so fat tomorrow. This is so bad for me." Stop it right now. If you are going to eat the cake, enjoy every crumb of it, lick the frosting off the fork, smile while you do it, and when you are done, move on. Guilt is heavier than any calorie. Stress is more toxic than any sugar. If you are fighting your food, you are fighting yourself. And you cannot win a war against your own body. I have a scoop of ice cream every Sunday afternoon. Real ice cream with cream and sugar and vanilla. I don't measure it. I don't look up the nutritional facts. I sit on my porch. I watch the birds, and I enjoy that ice cream like it is the first time I ever tasted it. And I truly believe that because I eat it with joy. My body uses it for good. My friends who spent their lives counting calories, weighing their lettuce, and stressing over every single bite, God rest their souls, they were miserable. They died of worry. They were so busy trying not to die that they forgot to live. I ain't saying you should go out and eat junk all day. You know better than that. I'm telling you to eat real food. Eat the butter, eat the meat, eat the vegetables that grow in the dirt. But once in a while, when you celebrate, or when your wife makes her famous pie, or when you just need a little sweetness, eat it with a happy heart. A happy heart is the best medicine there is. It beats all the vitamins in the world. So, here is the summary of 95 years of living. Throw away the fake oil. Buy the real butter. Turn off the TV when you eat. Chew your food. And for the love of God, stop worrying so much. Your body is a miracle. Treat it like a friend, not an enemy. Now, I'm getting a little tired. All this talking makes an old man thirsty. I think I'm going to go pour myself a glass of water, maybe with a squeeze of lemon, and sit in my chair. If you got something out of this, If you learned a little something from an old timer who's seen it all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. It lets me know you're listening. And leave me a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite meal was when you were a kid. I love reading those. You take care of yourselves now. And remember, eat like you want to live. I'll see you next time.